Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, November 6th. So we are going to wake up with the moon in Sagittarius. This is going to be great for us. This is the kind of light at the end of the tunnel that we've needed after all of this new moon in Scorpio energy, all of these shifts that have taken place. Sag energy is a light at the end of the tunnel. It renews our faith. It renews our confidence. It reveals a new truth. It reveals a new direction and a path. And guess what? It makes us excited again. It's a fire energy. It makes us very kind of hopeful for the future. And many of us have had a hard time even thinking about the future because of the cray-cray going on in the here and now. We have 10 different aspects taking place today. 8 of them involve the moon. The moon out of the gate does kind of make a little bit of a tension point with Mars, who is in his place of power in Scorpio. Emotionally speaking, we're tired of sitting around. We're tired of feeling bad. We're tired of being in a funk. We want to take action. We want to make a move. We want to engage our physical bodies. We want to get this restless and anxiety type of energy out of our physical form. And Mars, of course, the ruler over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, and even our anger, definitely is encouraging us to move our bodies, take action, make a move, especially aligning ourselves, if not with the things that we know we want to move closer to, taking a move to get away from the things that we know we have to move away from. It's either or, and sometimes it benefits both sides. The moon goes ahead and sextiles Saturn, and this is actually a really good energy for us right now because Saturn, in this positive way, he's not kind of doing the negative Nancy narrative. Instead, he's trying to show us the new systems, the new foundations, the new past, the new routines, the new relationships that we have to build in the future if we want to get out of the funk of the present day. Because the moon in Sag is overly optimistic, is a little bit big picture, is about the silver linings, we are kind of disregarding all the pain and suffering that we've gone through thus far because we've had enough. This particular energy wants us to focus on the future only. We've had a lot of time, especially in the Scorpio season and Scorpio new moon, to look back and be reflective, connecting the dots of our past to our present moment. Now this moon in Sag is going to help us in this present moment to connect the dots, the plans for the future on what it is we need to do to align to the new vision, the new dream, and the new goal. The moon is going to go ahead and trine Chiron. This is a beautiful energy because it means that we're actually making some progress in healing some of the wounds that were revealed to us in the dark night of the soul of the new moon in Scorpio. Of course, this Sag energy is confident, is optimistic, is very big picture, right? And definitely trying to renew our faith in ourselves, in the universe, in the plans for the future. Chiron, of course, wants to illuminate where it is that we do have to heal from the wounds that were just illuminated in order for us to break away from the pain and trauma cycle that we were likely illuminated to in our subconscious self, in our egoic self, under the new moon in Scorpio. We have Mercury sextiling with Venus. Now, here's the thing. Mercury just moved into Scorpio yesterday. Venus just moved into Capricorn yesterday. Both of them are still in this adjustment period, really trying to get their footing in these brand new energies. But let me tell you, Scorpio energy and Capricorn energy work very well together. The moon is in Sag, kind of shining a bright new optimistic light on the future. And we have Mercury, our mental plane, our communication styles, because of the information that we just got illuminated to. And we have Venus, our emotions, our worth, our value, focused on what makes us happy in this Capricorn energy, which is just trying to get us down to business. They're harmonizing with one another, which means that there is an alignment taking place between our heart, between our head. We are able to make sense of some of the things, some of the thoughts, some of the emotions that have crept up underneath this dark surface with the new moon in Scorpio. And now Mercury is ready to speak on it. Venus is ready to open up. Venus isn't overly emotional in Capricorn. She's more about, okay, how do we fix this? Because Mercury is in Scorpio, the great detective of the zodiac, the alchemist of the zodiac, as long as we know that there is a problem, we know we will come up with a solution. And the moon in Sag is giving us a beautiful energy, an optimistic energy to think about the future, to break down the particular steps that we need to kind of make in order to get there. And of course, kind of see where the problems are in our heart and in our head so that we can come up with a solution to bypass those issues altogether. The moon is going to make a little bit of a tension point with Pluto, and Pluto is still very strong. Of course, we are still in Scorpio season, but this is going to be an opportunity for us to just remind ourselves of our fears, of our doubts, of our insecurity, of where it is that, you know what, our past is really trying to keep us kind of stuck in a state of paralysis. But that moon in Sag ain't going to have it. We're going to be looking at all the darkness, all the pain, all the trauma. We're going to be plucking out the life lessons, plucking out the silver linings, knowing intuitively in our gut and in our soul that they had to happen in order to get us at this particular point in our path so that we can be future focused and ready to accept the rewards of abundance coming in because of the hardships, the challenges, and the struggles that we've already endured. The moon is going to make a positive aspect with Jupiter. And of course, Jupiter rules over Sagittarian energy. This is going to be big. This is going to be almost manic, if you will. This can be overwhelming. We do have a little bit of a tendency to be delusional on thinking about our grand plans. But guess what? We've sat in the darkness for so long that this isn't going to hurt us. Just recognize that you shouldn't make any commitments in this energy because we have a tendency to overcommit and then of course, be overwhelmed and not be able to fulfill what it is that we promised. And then we get down on ourselves and it's a whole thing. It's a whole circle. And what we want to just focus on is that Jupiter right now just wants us to grow. He wants us to expand. He wants to magnify the positives, the silver linings, the hopefulness. He wants to just show us that, guess what? Yes, things have been dark, but there's a brand new bright light at the end of this tunnel. And the closer that we get to it, the brighter it gets, the more opportunities unfold for us. And then we just recognize, guess what? Sitting in all that pain and darkness was 100% worth it. That's what this energy is trying to set us up for. But we are going to have a little tiny bit of a trigger because the moon goes ahead and makes a not so nice aspect with Uranus. Uranus tends to kind of shock us, kind of rattles us. There is disruption. There's upheaval in our physical realms that is really going to try to upset our kind of good vibe right now. There's a lot of confusion coming in. Just when we tried to get a grip on a vision for the future, there is going to be an external trigger that is going to disrupt that train of thought, that good vibe, that focus, that direction. And this Uranian energy is just kind of meant to shake us up to a point for us to see a brand new perspective, a brand new idea and inspiration actually emerge. We're going to get a huge help because Mercury bumps into the true node. And this means that we're reworking our thoughts, our ideas, the information that's coming in. And I would likely say because Uranian energy and Mercury energy are on the same kind of wavelength, Uranus, of course, is the higher intellect. Mercury, of course, is the lower intellect. There's a lot of divine inspiration and aha moments coming in from the cosmos that we can bring into the lower level intellect where Mercury rules to kind of try and make sense of it and how it is that we're going to use these divine aha moments of inspiration to change our thoughts, our perspective, our focus. And Mercury bumping into the true node, this just suggests that, you know what? We have to rework a couple of things. We have to revise our plans. We've had some information emerge that really is just kind of cluster effing our head. We don't know what to think about it. We have to find clarity because it is kind of impeding on the plans that we thought we had earlier for the futuristic vision, dream, and goals that we are now trying to manifest. The moon goes ahead and makes an aspect with the sun. And here's the thing, the sun in Scorpio is still trying to illuminate where the change is needed, where the transformation is needed, where, the darkness needs to be turned into something lighter. And the moon in Sagittarius, of course, wants to stay excited, wants to be hopeful, wants to kind of focus on the future. But there is this overlap, this realization from the old part of ourselves, the old ways of thinking, and thinking and feeling. And the sun is trying to illuminate the new elements that we have to bring in, the new ideas, the new inspirations, the new thoughts, the new will, the new discipline, the new strengths that we have to have in our present moment, in our right now, in order to actually align with something that we're trying to create for the future. Lastly, the moon is going to make a little bit of a tension point with Mercury, and this is really going to cause a little bit of a cluster F in our head, trying to figure out the answers, trying to figure out the plans, trying to figure out our next step. Yes, we're excited. Yes, we're gung-ho. Yes, we just want to get out of this funk that we've been in. But mentally speaking, some things aren't making sense. We have this gut intuition where we know we're being pulled to a certain direction, a certain purpose, a certain meaning. But logically speaking, in our egos, it doesn't make sense to us. The feeling might make sense, but the logical and practical linear fashion and how it is that we're supposed to bring these plans to life, that part doesn't make sense to us. So we are going to be we're definitely riding a high throughout the day. We're feeling a lot better. We're feeling a lot optimistic. But as we kind of go to bed, we start kind of contemplating like, damn, am I being unrealistic? Where can I find new information? Where can I feel good about making sense of all the plans that I absolutely want to manifest? How am I going to bridge the gap from where it is that I'm at to where it is that I actually want to be?